Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mindful Moments podcast. I'm Tracy. I'm your host and fellow traveler on this truly fascinating journey of self-exploration and discovery. Today, we will together explore the beauty of our minds and the world around us, one mindful moment at a time. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to set the stage by talking about creativity and what it means to be a creator. It's very important to me that as we explore topics related to creativity and artistry, that you see yourself reflected in these discussions, no matter how you identify with creativity. Creativity is incredibly broad, to say the least. It's not limited to traditional arts like painting or writing. It's in the unique solutions we devise for challenges at work, or the personal touches we add to our homes, and the thoughtful gifts that we craft for our loved ones. Creativity extends beyond the arts, so it's present everywhere. It's in how we tackle life's hurdles and how we nurture relationships. It's in the strategies that we use to solve problems. It's in the plans that we organize and the meals we cook and the laughter we share through stories. Each decision we make, obstacle we navigate, and meaningful act we undertake is a testament to our unique creativity. So, as we move into our discussion today, and for the rest of our series and the entire podcast, really, I encourage you to recognize and embrace your role as a creator. Because creativity isn't just about what we produce, but about the process of bringing any idea, no matter how small, into existence. Remember, in so many unique, incredible, genuine, authentic ways, each of you, as well as I, we're all creators. Today's topic for me is one that I really kind of struggled to accept for a while. For the longest time, it was a challenge for me. And it touches on the theme of a time for everything. And this concept, while, it's simple, for me, it is the key to unlocking boundless, fearless, creative expression, especially when we apply it to our creative lives and our lives at large in general. Like many of you, I've wrestled with the ups and downs of creativity. There have been so many times when it at least appeared that all of my ideas were flowing freely. And then there were other times when it seemed like my well of inspiration seemed utterly and completely dry. And for me, all of that changed when I had let's call it a shift in perspective. And it was one that aligns our creative process with the natural cycles of the world. And this shift brought me a sense of peace and renewed passion. Basically, I've learned to see my creative journey as a series of seasons, each with its own beauty and purpose. In the quiet, less productive phases, I've given myself permission to rest and reflect. These moments, they're not wasted, rather they're essential periods of recharge. allowing for growth and renewal. By embracing the ebbs and flows of creativity, I've become more forgiving of myself, and I found joy in the process of creation. And I encourage you too to be mindful of your own creative rhythms. Allow yourself grace during the quieter times and understand that these are just as important as the periods of intense creation or productivity. As we continue exploring today's chat on a time for everything, I've got to tell you, this concept really hits home for me in a lot of ways, but it really sings when we talk about creativity. And I think you all know by now, I'm all about stories. I love storytelling. There's just something special about them, right? Like, they're almost like bridges that connect us and help us see bits of ourselves and others' tales. So I'm going to share a bit about what I've learned from the great teacher that is nature. And I'm going to do this by focusing on the seasons. Spring. Let's kick off with spring. Picture this, okay? A forest coming alive after a long sleep. It's all buzzing with energy and bursting with new life. Birds chirping and bees are coming out and new grass coming in. That's spring for you, for me. It's like when you wake up feeling refreshed with a head full of fresh ideas and a heart full of hope. In my life, spring is that time when I feel ready to try new things, to plant the seeds for future projects. It's all about beginnings and that wonderful sense of what if. Summer. Moving on to summer. So imagine that the same forest, it's now in full bloom. Everything's lush and green and vibrant and just overflowing with life. That's how my creativity feels in summer. It feels like, I'm in a zone. I'm in the zone, fully immersed in bringing those spring ideas to life. The days are longer, and somehow that gives me so much more energy to dive deep into my projects, to make the most of that natural momentum. Autumn. Now, as the leaves start changing, we're stepping into autumn. There's a certain magic in the air as the forest shifts into a kaleidoscope of colors. This is a time for reflection, and it's when I look back and I see what I've created, and this is a time where deciding what to keep and what to let go of and making room for new growth. Autumn teaches me about release and the beauty of transformation, which reminds me that not every idea needs to stick around forever. Winter. And then there's winter. The forest quiets down. It's covered in a blanket of snow, and everything kind of takes a breath. For me, winter is a season of rest. It's when I recharge, I find inspiration in the stillness, and I gather my strength for the next cycle of creativity. It's a pause that I can't underestimate the power of the pause. It serves as a reminder to us that even in the quiet, there's purpose and preparation happening really beneath the surface. Through each of these seasons, I've learned to flow with my creative energies, recognizing the importance of every phase. Nature, with its effortless cycles of change, shows us that there's a time for action, a time for letting go, a time for reflection, and a time for rest. And just like nature doesn't rush from winter to spring, I've learned the value of giving myself space to cultivate growth and to create and just be. As we draw this episode to a close, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey through the seasons of creativity. Together, we've explored how embracing the natural cycles of change, much like the seasons, can enrich our creative lives, from the fresh starts of spring to the reflective quiet of winter. Each season holds valuable lessons for us. Remember, your creativity is a living, breathing part of you, evolving and changing with time. It's okay to be in different phases, to feel the rush of new ideas or the need to, step back and recharge. So here's my challenge for each of you and for future Tracy when I'm listening to this later. Take a moment to reflect on what season you're in right now in your own creative journey. And whatever season that may be, it doesn't really matter. Just honor it, embrace it, let it exist without judgment, without the need to change it. If you're in spring, plant new ideas. In the summer, nurture them with your passion. Come autumn, let go of whatever doesn't serve you. And in winter, well, rest and gather strength for the new beginnings ahead. Remember, each of us is a creator, painting our lives with the choices we make and the dreams we pursue. May your journey be gentle and light, filled with the rich colors of every season. Thank you for being here and for sharing this time with me. Until next time, keep creating, keep dreaming, and keep embracing the beautiful cycle of your own creative spirit.